see, and I think this card is going to provide that.
And well, I mean, he hits on so many levels, right?
Yeah.
We're in Miami, party town, bitches, Latinas, you know what I mean?
Celebs, yeah, everything.
Labs, you know what I mean? Like the nightlife, right? You huge arena, so it's completely different. Championship fight, and then you
Yeah,
got
the
all
energy is going to be crazy.
oh yeah, and then you got all these like main fights that could hold their own fight nights with the Michael Chandler versus Paddy Pimblett. I'm taking Paddy. Bryce Mitchell versus Gene Silva. I'm taking Gene Silva. Yair Rodriguez versus Patricio Pitbull. I'm taking Yair. But these fights could go. Who knows?
Yeah.
And that's
No,
why.
it's a,
And that's why we want to watch it.
that's why we want to watch it to find out because I really think there's some storylines that are going to be built
To be
off
built
of
off
this
this.
card.
Yep.
You know what I
Yep.
mean? So
Yep.
it's determining what goes on in UFC, fucking 318 or whatever. It's going to be some championship fights. There's going to be some movement within the divisions, and man, I'm just
Yep.
looking to get to listen to Vaughn and the homies so I
Right.
can get my
Right. Right.
bets
I
in,
was.
baby.
I was just about to say that. I was like, we're like the pre-show, right?
Yeah,
We're like the
yeah.
pre-show. They like break it down though.
Oh yeah, they get
Got the,
analytical with it.
got
You're
the
gonna get the
odds.
numbers, the
Right.
odds, you know what I
Right.
mean, favorites, all this stuff, and
Right.
and and we're gonna see. I'm interested in detailing those guys and see what they got to say.
Yeah, me too. Me too. I'm interested to see what their initial reaction is too and what their breakdown is. But let me ask you this. All right, so who do you got for the main fight, Alex or Diego?
Diego, I'm afraid that Alex, I'd like Alex to win in a sense because he's a star and he seems like such a good dude.
Yeah.
But once they get knocked out, it just feels like the kind of like I hope it's not the Adesanya effect, where it's just like once you get knocked, you just start getting knocked out more frequently, And I just don't want to see him struggle. So, but I think Lopez is just such a his stand up is it's just man, he's just
And I'm and
that
I
dude is something else.
and I think Volk is like 35, 36. Alexa, how old is Alexander Volkanovski?
Alex Volkanovski is 36 years old.
There you
So
go.
about to be 37. I mean, he's on the back nine, right? Diego
Yeah.
Lopez, 31, 32. He's kind of like, hey, Kobe, LeBron, you know what I mean?
Oh
Like,
yeah, he's definitely on the rise.
right. He's big. He's a big dude too. I think he's like 5'10, 5'11. He's not a small dude. And I think,
Right. Really
yeah.
intense.
So I think it's his time. Now, I am interested to see what happens after the division. Like I said, I really wish Ilya would have stuck in there, but we are where we're at.
Yeah,
Someone,
but you're seeing a version of Ilya in a sense. I know Ilya's boxing is crazy, but Lopez's striking is up there, and Volk had the issues. Like I don't know. I just
here's what I think too. If it goes into the deep waters, I got Volk. But if Diego can capitalize with his power, his stamina and youth in the first two rounds and get a submission or a knockout,
all
we got Lopez. I'm taking
right,
Lopez though. I'm taking the new wave and the new horse. I think it's
all
his
right.
time to shine. I think Volk's, I hate to say it, bro, but like this is we're wrapping it up. He's gonna become one of those top five, top 10 guys where it's like, if you pass him, you get to get into the dance.
Got you.
And he's
All
still
right,
deadly, but is he the top three still? I
got
mean,
you.
that's why we're gonna find out, right? And someone even said this: imagine him moving down and fighting Marab. That I would like.
Okay, yeah, that would be see because that's the styles. You know what I
Right.
mean? Like it
It-
would be so technical against the cage on the ground. And then
right.
even if they tested each other in the stand up, you know that that's not their strength. So when two guys,
And Volk
tend
still
to
has
want
power.
to,
Don't get me wrong.
yeah, no, no, yeah,
And,
I agree.
and
I'm
Marab
not
just
saying,
is
yeah,
nonstop. You know what I mean? He just
yeah.
nonstop.
But
So
Marab would know that getting Volk to the ground and like the wrestling and stuff, like that's more of that could be an equalizer. So they may stand and fight and strike with each other. And so it could cause for an exciting fight either way. So I
yeah.
would be open to
All
that.
right. So what? Who do you got then?
Yeah, I'm taking Lopez.
And it's
Yeah, for
minus
sure.
148 Volk. Interesting.
That's interesting too, man. Yeah, we'll see. So there's some juice on Lopez, then let's go for it. Yeah.
All right. Who do you got? Michael Chandler Paddy Pimblett.
You know,
Number
this
7
whole
versus number
Chandler
12.
thing, it's not that he's a joke, bro. I have respect for
I have
him.
respect for him too.
It's just he's more like a wrestling personality almost, as opposed to like me taking him more seriously. He's more along the lines of what I kind of started to feel about uh Conor McGregor. They're just more of a just the antics, the
Yeah,
show.
that's
But
the
you know
answer.
what I can say, his last fight though,
I
he
don't.
did come ready though. You know what I mean?
Okay,
He
no,
was in shape,
I agree
ready.
with you. Here's my thing with him, bro. I hate the fucking grabbing the fence, the eye post, all the little shit, bro, to gain a
Yeah,
edge. I don't.
yeah, I
That's
agree.
what I don't like.
Yeah,
Like
I agree with
he's the type of dude who will take steroids, won't tell anybody and shit just
you.
to get an
Exactly.
edge. So
Yep,
that's
yep.
what I don't like. And Patty has grown on me.
All right.
Patty has
Interesting.
grown on me, and my respect level for him has just like just the way he approaches his fights. He's not so disrespectful anymore.
Well, he was
Right,
at a point where I was kind of like, this dude's so too cocky and just too.
right.
He was going along those lines of that wrestling antics and disrespectful stuff.
Right.
But there has been a shift,
There has.
a maturing.
Right.
Um,
And he's backing it up with finishes.
There you go.
And
That's
he
what I'm hoping to see
right,
is the focus on the on the mats and doing that and letting it show in the ring
right.
because he's going to be challenged. It's not
And this is a good
Chandler.
challenge for him, bro.
Yes,
It's a
exactly. Because
great
Chandler
challenge
can
for him.
strike and he can wrestle. So and he's experienced. He's had plenty fights, so he's seen it all. So
Mhm.
I just think whether he's getting in his head with the cheap things he's doing in the ring to get in Paddy's head, or he's frustrating him, whatever, we're gonna see the maturity
Yeah.
of Paddy Pimblett in the ring, and I think it's gonna determine
And he's
on
deadly
the
on the
finish.
ground, bro. And I've been saying this, and I think we said it. These top 5 guys, these top 3 guys, you better bring more than just stand up. And
Yeah,
Patty's
for
shown
real.
he's fucking dangerous on the ground. So if he can get past this test, start getting into that top 10, top 5 conversation. Where we may have, and he's not a small dude either, bro. I think he's like 5'11, fucking probably walks around 180 to cut to 155. So like I like everything I'm seeing, and I see him getting past Michael Chandler. Who do you got?
Oh, Paddy. Yeah.
Okay, Batty the Batty. All right. So then we have, and then we got a Bryce Mitchell versus Gene Silva.
Oh, I don't know, and
Would you do you think the Earth is flat or do you think the Earth is round? Let's just start there.
no, I'm just I believe it's round.
All right. Okay.
All
Okay.
jokes aside,
All
I
right.
don't know. I've never necessarily been in the outer space that can look down onto that, so I don't know.
Okay.
So I understand your argument, but I'm gonna trust science on this one.
All right. All right.
I will Silva, bro. Who's been on he's been on a tear, bro, and it's
Yeah.
like this momentum and the way the fights have been going. It's just like,
You've been finishing these motherfuckers. You've
you know
been
what I mean? Like,
getting on
damn.
them.
You know what I mean? So I
Hey,
got
did
Silva
you
in a
see,
close one,
bro?
but this is a tight one.
Hey, did you see in the pre-conference press conference where he brought out a globe to the stage?
Nah, he's clowning, bro. Okay, that's what's up.
And then Bryce drops a fucking thing like, hey, that he hasn't been able to sleep, and that Gene Silva's like basically like he's throwing these demonic messages in his dreams about him trying to like, be with girls or like the devil's on
Oh
him.
wow,
I was like, dog, you taking a little too far here, homie. Like, damn, bro.
that's hilarious.
Bro, like so. All right, so I'm taking Gene Silva though. And I think Bryce